Okay. Chevre, guys, one more time. We're restarted. First of all, Mitzvah tomorrow. Aaron Ringel is sponsoring tomorrow. And the anonymous guy is going to be pushed off for next week. So Baruch Hashem, we have this week and next week covered. So thank you, Aaron. Also, covered the Shishi Demila. Also, we'd like to again thank Kashi Rosenbaum for the raffle. Tomorrow's going to be the raffle. Please message Mati or myself to be part of the raffle. If you came throughout or kept along, you're part of the raffle. Also, we'd like to welcome Abe Shama to the share. Welcome. All right, guys, we're gonna do the Chazar. We're gonna start what? And Shlomi Klein, he was already welcome. Shlomi's here already for Shtiktzat. Okay. Welcome back, Surly. Well, welcome back. Okay, guys. No. Okay, we're good. We're good. All right, we're live. We're going to start from the Chuvdal and Omabayz. We're going to do the Chazara. We are 5-6 lines up by Toshma. So we're going to do the Chazara from yesterday, and then we're going to start a new Mishnah. We'll give an intro to the Mishnah and what it's talking about. So, Toshma, Elon Hamesach al Aretz, a tree that's leaning over and creates a canopy with its branches onto the ground. If Noifa's branches are not 3 tfachim more than the ground, you can carry underneath it on Shabbos. Amai, hakazavasi. What's the reason? Why can you carry beneath it? The tree, that canopy, will also move in the wind, and that's the concern that we have. Hasam nami the avad lebutza v'dafna, and the answer is the same common answer that we had for all 4 challenges. Tarbacha b'Yaakov is that over there too, it will be it's structured with hutza v'dafna. Hutza is a branch of palm branches, and dafna is dafna branches.
I wanted to ask yesterday. I watched it on YouTube, but everyone subscribe, please. Regarding luvid, if the tree is luvid, then we're not worried about shaking because Lamasa is connected to the ground.
You still are because even if it's going to the ground, the whole question originally is if it's not a sturdy wall.
If the luvid technically connects it, it makes a wall.
That's going to connect only if it's a sturdy wall. If it's not sturdy, then it's connecting nothing. That's a very good question, but it's connecting it once it is structured boots of a dafna. Okay, so if that's the case, let us carry it throughout the whole thing. And like we said, this ihachi is sort of said without context, this question. And now comes the context. Why did Rav Huna bar Yeshua say, you only carry beneath it the amount of Beis Hasayim. Beis Hasayim is a 50 by 50 for each saw, which comes out to 5,000 square amas. And that's the same size as the courtyard in the Mishkan, which is why we use that. That's the size that we use for carrying, and that's what the Rabbanan were misakin. And now why? Why does he say you can't do more than that? Mishum, the Havi Dira Shetash Mishel Avir. Why? Because like we explained yesterday, that this Dira is not meant to live in really. The purpose is meant for the Avir, for the outside, for the guard to watch on the outside. He's just using it for shade, for comfort. The Chol Dira Shetish Mishel Avir. Not camouflage, well, you could say also, whatever the purpose is. He's using it to, shade.
His anu is from outside.
Correct. His anu is for the outside. Correct. And that's sort of what they're masakin. Any dira that its usage is for the outside, you can't carry more than 2 saw, Beis Toshma. Come here. This is the 4th challenge. Shevas betel. The person was Mekabel Shabbos on a mound. That it is 10 tefachim high and is within either 4 amas by 4 amas up until a Beis Hasayim, which is 50 by 50. V'chein beneka, or like a cleft, which is the opposite of a mound, meaning it's going down. You're digging down into the ground 10 tefachim. Again, shu amakasara. V'hu me'arba amas ad Beis Hasayim. Same thing. It's between 4 amas and a Beis Hasayim. V'chein kama, or grains, ktsura, which are cut. So you have the area of grain which is cut. V'shiboiles, and the stalks, makifois, are surrounding yourself, mehalech, eskula, v'chutza al payim amma. Basically on Shabbos, you're allowed to go, the amount of personal space is 4 amas. So you're allowed to carry up to 4 amas regardless, wherever you are. That's the halacha. Now, once you're outside that 4 amas, the tchum would be 2,000 amma. So that's what it says. Now the question is, obviously see that it does work. And what? These stalks are not really sturdy. So the answer is, afagav because of, this is not the answer, this is still the question. Afagav because of asi, so too, over here, it's cause of asi, and still you can use it. The answer is, hasamnami, david lebutza v'dafna. Over there too, what do we have? The same answer, that it is structured with hutza v'dafna. Okay, now we're going to start the new Mishnah. Now the Mishnah is going to tell us 3 things. It's going to tell us, number 1, that a person, a shliach, or people who are shlichei mitzvah, are part from the sukkah. Number 2 is going to be choylin u'mishamshein, a choyle and his assistant is part from the sukkah. And number 3 is the oichlin v'shoysin aray chutzah sukkah. You're allowed to eat and drink. Aray means a small amount. Now why is this different than sleeping? One of the pointers are that sleeping, you can't really sleep aray, because if you fall asleep, you may fall asleep a deep sleep or doze into heavy sleep. But the Gemara is going to talk about all 3 of these things, but the first amud and a half are going to talk about the first one, which is shluchei mitzvah p'tur min sukkah. Okay, now once it says it, we're saying someone who's sort of oisik b'mitzvah, shluchei mitzvah, is pater from a mitzvah. Now we're going to want to find the source. And the Gemara is going to say that the source is going to get from Kriya Shema. And then we're going to delve a little bit further into it as how it applies to us. How by Kriya Shema, where do we learn? That's going to be the source where we learn the shluchei mitzvah p'turim min sukkah, p'turim from mitzvahs, and one of the mitzvahs is sukkah, and you be pater from sukkah. Okay, let's see it inside. Shluchei mitzvah p'turim min sukkah. Shlich mitzvah is pater from the sukkah, and like Rashi explains, what is a shluchei mitzvah? He says 3 things: someone that's learning Torah, or lahagel pnei rabbi, or the third thing is v'livtei shvuim. He's going to rescue somebody. So now the second thing is choylin u'mishamshem p'turim min sukkah. That's simple. Someone who's a choyle, he has an assistant, somebody's helping him, a nurse, whatever it is. Obviously, talking about a man. He's also pater. I don't remember. And the third thing is you can eat and drink outside of the sukkah. So now the Gemara comes and says, very good, the Mishnah said all this. Where does the Mishnah know? And again, we're going to the first part of the Mishnah. From where do we know that someone who is oisik in a mitzvah is pater from a mitzvah? So the Rabbanan learned. This is from Kriya Shema. Prat la'oisik b'mitzvah. If someone's at home, you're not really doing anything, you're mechuyev, meaning at night when it comes to Kriya Shema, or by day, you're mechuyev for Kriya Shema. So now, you're mechuyev to do the mitzvah, unless prat la'oisik b'mitzvah. And it continues by Kriya Shema. Prat l'chasan. It excludes a chasan. Now, just to ask you guys, why would there be a difference for a chasan that's about to get married? This is talking about a chasan on Yom Kippur. So why is this different than oisik b'mitzvah? He's being oisik b'mitzvah. Why would this be an additional thing? Anybody has a... Think about it for a second. Why would a chasan...
Theoretically, doing does not stop you doing the mitzvah later.
But he's not doing the mitzvah right now. Right now he's not, it's later. What?
At least it's mitzvah, no?
So very good. So he's saying very close to it. So Rashi and Taisus talk about it. The reason is because he's not actually doing the mitzvah now. The mitzvah is later on. But he's oisik because he's thinking about it. By a shlichei mitzvah, someone who's learning or whatever, somebody's meeting his rebbe, whatever it is, he's in the middle of doing the mitzvah. I tell him, he's on his way, he's doing the mitzvah. Okay, you're pater. But here, yeah, you would be pater. But no, because you're in the middle of the mitzvah. Let's say you're sitting at home and you run out, whatever it is. Yeah, very good point. Fine, very good. But no, good point. But no. Who's this? Oh, okay.
Shia, mute your phone.
Shia after. So now the chassan, he's not involved, but he's tarred. The Gemara is going to talk about it and say that he's tarred and he's thinking about it the whole day, and that takes away from it. I'm going to ask a question: what is tarred, what's not tarred, and so on. Okay. So now we say prat the chassan mekan amru hakonis is absula pater. Someone whose konis is absula is pater. And again, later on, we're going to expound on this. My mashma. So now, where does the pasuk? How do we see from the pasuk this? How do we see that it's implying this? that you're potter from a mitzvah. Amar Rav Huna kederach, where if you look at the pasuk, and we say it by Kriya Shema, b'shivtcha b'veisecha uv'lachta b'derech. Now what? Just like any derech. What's derech? A rishos. Ma derech rishos. Just like any time you're going on the road, you're not always doing a mitzvah when you're on the road. You're on the road, you're traveling, whatever it is. It's a rishos. So too, af kol rishos. La fuke hai de mitzvah asuk. So too, anytime you're in the middle of doing something that's rishos, you're just going on your own. You have at your discretion. You're mechuyev in the mitzvah. So too, anytime you'd be mechuyev in the mitzvah of Kriya Shema, besides for if you're Isaac in a mitzvah. So now, mi lo yaskinon, because of what? I'm sorry. Oh, I thought you said. What is that? La fika, correct. I said so. La fika hai de mitzvah asuk. That excludes a person who is in the middle of doing a mitzvah, that's how you learn from the pasuk. And what do we learn from derech? Just like any derech, that's how you get to the chazan. Just like any derech is rishos, you'd be mechuyev besides for this case. So mila eskin, the cause of the mitzvah. Who said he's not on his way to a mitzvah? Just like Aaron said before, maybe he's on his way to do a mitzvah. The v'lechta derech. Maybe who said that this is a rishos right now that we're talking about? So v'kam Rachman Likri, and the Torah says that he has to say Kriya Shema. So maybe it's talking about that it's a dvar mitzvah, and even a dvar mitzvah you'd be mechuyev in Kriya Shema. So he answers in Kain lemakra b'sheves uveleches. If that was the case, then the pasuk should say b'sheves uveleches. My b'shiftecha uvelechtecha. Why does it say b'shiftecha uvelechtecha, which means you're sitting, you're going. B'leches tida hu de mechayeves. B'leches mitzvah. So it's talking about that if it's your own thing, which is a rishos, then you'd be chayev. If it's a mitzvah, then you would not be chayev. Okay, let's chazah this. This is where we're going to get to today. So once again, the Mishnah says inside, shluchei mitzvah p'tur min hasukah, that's the first thing. Choylin u'mishamsheim p'tur min hasukah, that's the second. Oichlin v'shoisin, aray chutz hasukah, that's the third thing that the Mishnah is teaching us. Now comes the Gemara, and the Gemara is going to say, where do we know this first thing? That someone who's oiskin with his pater mitzvah. The Tana Rabbanan, the Rabbanan learned, b'shivtcha b'veisecha prat la'oisik b'mitzvah. Someone who is at home, this excludes an oisik b'mitzvah. U'v'lachta v'darech prat l'chasan. And like we said, we need this extra thing to teach us this. Someone who's on the road is prat l'chasan. Mikan amru hakonis is absula pater v'sa'aman chayev. From here we see that someone whose konis is absula is pater, and aman is chayev. Someone who marries a basula would be pater from the mitzvah, and almana not. And we're going to see later that there's going to be there's a few reasons why. One of the reasons would be because let's say the chassan the whole day is concerned if his kal is going to have dam psulim, but by an almana he's not concerned. He knows he's not going to find any of it. So now my mashma. So how do we know? Where do we see from the pasuk that implies this specifically that your Isaac mitzvah is part of mitzvah? Amarfuna kederach. We see from the word derech. Ma derech rishos, af kol rishos, you'd be chayev. La fuke hai de mitzvah asuk. So you see from derech, just like derech in general is a rishos. So anytime rishos, you'd be chayev. Anytime you're always in a mitzvah, you'd be pater. So now the Gemara is going to ask, Mila is kinon the causal dvar mitzvah. How do you know that this derech is not a dvar mitzvah? Maybe it is. V'kam Rachman Likri. And what does the Torah say? It says to lein Kriya Shema. So the answer is in Cain lemakra b'sheves uveleches. If that were the case, then the pasuk would say b'sheves uveleches. My b'shiftecha uvelechtecha. Why does it say b'shiftecha uvelechtecha? You're going b'leches tidachu de mechayeves ha b'leches de mitzvah ptiras. That if you're going, your own going was rishos, then you'd be chayev. If you're going for dvar mitzvah, you would be pater. Again, guys, keep doing the chazar like we always say. But remember, please send Mati or myself if you're part of the raffle. If you're not sure if you're part of the raffle, you can message me and we'll make a game time decision. And one more thing, we're going to do Matzah Shabbos, the raffle of the Chazara for the $500 for those who chazered throughout.